Welcome back to another Let's Play, and today I have for you a controversial little game called Rule of Rose. Of course, you might be thinking, well, it's December, it should be the time of cheer, peace, and love, and Christmas spirit and all that, but what better way to celebrate the Christmas spirit than a tale of horrible things that happen to people? A tragedy, if you will. Now, this isn't actually December as I record this. I'm actually recording this in August. But this should be posting in December, and a fine way to end 2023. I will give a brief trigger warning. There are some pretty unsettling things that happen in this game. Untreated mental health issues, cruelty towards animals, children being cruel to other children, adults being cruel to children, a teacher doing stuff with a student who's under the age of 18, I believe 16 if I'm not mistaken. There are some not nice things that happen in this game, so keep that in mind. Also, unfortunately, there's a filter I did not turn down as much as I should have, and I should have turned the brightness up more. I did not do that. Oh well. Also, there's a lot of text in this game. For this video, I will be reading out most of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to continue that because I am visually impaired, blind, whatever you want to call it. And in order to read the text out, I have to play the video, pause it, read it, play the video again until I've got all the text, and then cut and paste everything together, and it's a lot of work, and I really don't want to do it, except it is important to the story, and the story is the most important aspect of this game. But I will do what I can. There will be moments after this video where you will have to just pause and read. But I'll try to cover any dialogue or anything important. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started.
Say where is my shame when I call your name. So please don't set me free. I'm as heavy as can be. I will do you harm. I will break my arm. I'm a victim of your charm. I want to be dead when I'm in bed. I can be so mean, you can't beat me. I would like to shame you, I would like to blame you, just because of my love to you. And love itself is just a princess as roses in May. I know nothing can drive it away. But love itself is just a brief.
My name is Joshua. I will serve you, princess. Just kiss me, please.
Once upon a time, there was a precious little girl. Her friend, the Princess of the Red Rose,
was always at her side. Then one day, her mummy and daddy died suddenly, and the poor little girl was sent away to a strange house. Jennifer, play with me, Jennifer. Read the story. Please read the story. What happens next? What's this? Wait, please. Where are you going?
The Little Princess. Once upon a time, there was a precious little girl. Her friend, the Princess of the Red Rose, was always at her side. Then one day her mom and dad died suddenly, and the princess too disappeared, leaving the girl all alone. And the little girl was sent to a strange place. Suddenly, the girl was all alone. And so the story begins. A mysterious, unthinkable, filthy little tale. However, the young girl Jennifer had no choice but to surrender to the unsettling predicament. Oh, what an unlucky little girl. Suddenly, we find ourselves stranded. My God! Dick moved by the bus driver, just leaving her there. Although I suppose he may not have realized this wasn't her stop. Where her stop actually was, we don't know. You can tell at this point that my reading and the text aren't going to be synced up very well. That's because of how I record my reading of the text. I did the best I could, but syncing that up would require a lot more work than I want to do. So I'm just not going to do it. As the girl approached the sign, she heard a dog's bark. It sounded strangely familiar and beckoned her to come. Well, I hear a dog. Does not sound like the dog is too happy, so we should probably help it if we can. You can get some flavor text on what I think is a well if you move to the right some more. I didn't know that at the time, or I would have clicked on it to show it off. There are a few things we can look at if we come in here. I just paused to save state. I am playing this on an emulator, and this emulated version of this game is really dark. And if we take a look at this, we see that there's a piece of paper attached to a dog collar. And it says, boarding pass, Red Crown Aristocrats. That will be important to the story. There's also a dog collar with the name Brown on it. And some creepy children laughing. And a save point, which I'm trying to show off. I should have just waited. These things get a better introduction later on, so I'm not sure why they're here already. For the most part, I'm going to be cutting whenever I save the game, but I do want to show it this time and then one other time this video, and then I'm going to cut the rest. Just to show you what it looks like. Well, the dog's not here. I'm sensing some children are up to no good. That's usually how this works. I did some research online, and other people had this same problem with emulating this game and it being dark. It's not real noticeable yet. It gets more noticeable in the primary location this game takes place in. From video 2 onward, things are quite dark, way more than they should be on the console version. I have been watching a Let's Play where this girl is going in depth talking about the story and lore of this game. Following the boy up the road, she came upon a huge mansion. For some reason, this place seems familiar to the unlucky girl. Wow, what a mansion! Let's take a look. Children with bags over their heads are beating something with a stick. The unlucky girl was frightened and backed away from the gate. Don't blame her. That's creepy. I will be referencing her work throughout this LP. That and any other research I do on this story, which I'm probably not going to do because that would require more work than I'm already putting into it. But I will try to link her channel in the description in case anybody's interested. Clearly some people are spying on us. Rude. It's also important to note that while I don't want to spoil the story for this game, it is a psychological story. And this is our introduction to how to use items. The biggest issue I have with this inventory system is it's really hard for me to read. They do the inventory in this chalkboard style, which is interesting, but the text is in a font that I can't read very well. But we got a boarding pass, so use that here. At least somebody's having a good time, because I know I'm not. I hate being stranded by a bus. The afternoon bus that I take going home from the office on days I work in the office has been inconsistent at best. This is pretty important. It talks about the legend of Stray Dog. Stray Dog gives them sweets. It seems kind of innocuous, but that is actually really important to the main plot of this game. Stuff like this, I'm not going to read aloud because who cares? You can read it if you want. Most people won't, but it's there if you want to see it. And I do want to show off as much as I can throughout this LP. I will be endeavoring to do that. But things in this game are going to seem pretty odd and unrealistic. And keep in mind that's because this is a psychological story. I don't want to say too much now because I'm not sure how to convey what's going on without spoiling anything. Instead of worrying about that, let's go through this door. It's time to investigate this mansion. You little brats, come back here. It's also noteworthy that Jennifer is 19. The unlucky girl felt the chilling gaze of eyes upon her, yet she was all alone. And we're still chasing down this little boy. As far as I know, we don't know who he is. So I'm not sure why we're going after him. Maybe he actually got off at the right bus stop. The music in this game is fantastic and something completely different from most survival horror games. I would say it's one of the biggest selling points of this game, because it's certainly not the gameplay. Brief disclaimer for those who care about such things, even though this is not a walkthrough. I am using an infinite health cheat. It makes this game playable. The combat in this game, which we won't see until next video briefly, is not well done, and this game has some bizarre hitbox issues. Well, that's not good. This thing seems to be dressed like us. I hope it's not some sort of effigy. That would not be great. But we got maniacal laughter in the background as we walk around this place, and Jennifer not picking up an item I want her to pick up, which goes into that hitbox issue I was talking about before. We will meet all of these people. Mostly starting next video, there's going to be a lot of introductions. We've got a lot of people to meet next video. Another save point if you want it. I don't know why you would want to bother at this point, but it's there if you want it. Although it could come in useful later. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. We will be back here. However, this is not the main area of the game. I remember somebody having a thing about trains. Come back here! I'm stranded because of you, you little git! This is kind of weird because we're not really given a whole lot of motivation for Jennifer to be doing what she's doing right now. Knowing more about the story, I have my own guesses as to why she's walking around here, but taking everything that's happening literally, it doesn't really make sense why she got off the bus to chase down this kid that she seems to not know. Or maybe she does, I don't know. He does know her name is Jennifer. Stop your laughing! I hate laughter! Ha ha! And this is actually not a mansion, it's an orphanage. And we got the orphanage map, which will be useful later. And we will be in this room quite often. And the door's locked, because of course it is. It's always locked in games like this. When the unlucky girl approached the boy, he said, "My, aren't you a slowpoke like always? Here, read me the rest of the story. You know, the book I handed you." And this will be our second use of an item. We got to use the storybook. We already read the first part of this. At her new home, the aristocrat club lived by the rule of rose, title of the game, but the girl found herself very much alone. We will now begin the funeral. All those attending, please gather around at this time. Come on, Jennifer, the funeral's about to start. It's a funeral for your dear friend. Before she realized it, the boy was gone, and the girl was left in confusion. Well, we better go find that dog. That is one consistency of this area. There seems to be a dog in need. That and maniacal children's laughter. I've also noticed that Jennifer seems to adopt the Japanese idea that women should be seen, not heard. At least in fiction, that seems to be the case. I noticed that when doing the dialogue for Parasite Eve. It seemed like the main character of that game, Aya Bray, didn't really talk much. Everybody else spoke around her. I think she was a little more talkative in the second game. When the girl reached the yard, she found a shovel in front of a grave. Interesting. But Jennifer doesn't say a whole lot. The unlikely girl sensed that something dear to her was buried here. As if possessed, she began to dig furiously.
Just look at you. You're filthy.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our flight. Attention all passengers. We will be taking off in a short while. Please take all large luggage to Section 8 of the freight storage compartment. Thank you.
And we seem to find ourselves tied up in a room somewhere. All we can really do is struggle. When the girl awoke, she found herself in a strange room. It was a cold, lonely, stinky room.
Good morning, Jennifer. How do you feel? Let's have a little chat, shall we?
No.
So that's how you feel, is it? Jennifer, you know you've been a bad, bad girl. And bad girls need to be punished, don't they?
No.
A bad, bad girl who's not sorry, Anyway, I'll be the one giving the orders around here, okay?
No.
Silly girl, you still don't understand. Well, you will before long. Now, I'm going to give you your first order. Every month you need to find a gift and bring it to the Aristocrat Club. If you don't, I'll kill you. Is there anything about this that you don't understand? Yes? Oh well, it doesn't really matter what you say. You see, Jennifer, there are really only two kinds of people in the world. Those who take orders and those who give them. And from now on, I'll be giving the orders. Not fair? Well, dear Jennifer, nothing's fair here. You will follow my orders or else. For I am the prince, and the prince rules. This is your life, but you'll play by my rules. Let the games begin, dear Jennifer.
The rope was cut. And I'm not reading all that. Essentially, it's saying, congratulations, welcome to the Aristocrat Club, which I don't think we're actually a part of yet. That's something we will learn about next video. You can look around at a few things in here. I'll show off a few more at the start of next video. Unfortunately, those moments in the future will not be voiced. We will be waking up and hearing from that prince some more throughout this game. I'm looking for a few other things before ending this video. You can take a look at these scissors and gather from that cutscene that if we can get at those scissors, they might be useful. And then there's this thing. This thing will give you hints. It's our save point and our first little quest of this chapter. Fortunately, it doesn't require us to leave this room. And it describes the save system in an interesting way. I always appreciate it when a game can take a mechanic and make it part of the world. I've talked about that before with Soul Reaver 2, how the save and checkpoints are described throughout the universe. They're never mentioned again in the other games, but at least for that game, their descriptions work. And here we are told if we take this bucket and bring it back over to that other thing, we can put this entity together. That may not make sense, but like I said before, it doesn't have to. Again, pause these if you want to read these moments. I won't be reading these aloud. This is where the game describes hints and saving. Saving is pretty standard for games of this time period. This is the last time in the LP I'm going to show me save. We will be seeing these things throughout the game. I will try to call them out whenever I find them. However, no promises. And now, save the game. It's 2:30 in the morning, so I'm getting pretty tired. On a personal note, I am excited. Today was my first day of a 3-week vacation from work. I'm pretty excited about that. I've got a lot of Let's Plays I want to work on, and hopefully find some time to get out and do some other stuff. And here is our storage box. Much like Resident Evil, this game has an item box. This one is bottomless, which is great. We only have 12 item slots. They will fill up fast, especially if you're playing this game without an infinite health cheat. This thing will be very useful, and you can drop items from your inventory and they will go automatically to this box. So unlike Resident Evil 0, where you just drop them wherever, they go into your storage, which is cool. And it did take me some time to fiddle with this to figure out how to actually use it. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time with more Rule of Rose.